This is from the Petty Corner. I'm Petty Diana, and I brought the welterweight champ back here with me today. We're going to do a recap of Road to the Title, Season 3, Episode 10. Welcome back to the Petty Corner, Anthony.
How's it going? How's it going, Diana? Good to be back.
Good. It's good to see you. I see you've been decorating for Halloween.
Oh my gosh, isn't that great? It's the greatest thing to just see Chris's skeleton every day with his shoe off, and I gave him a Red Bull can today. We're just gonna keep adding to it.
Yeah, I mean, it gives him wings, so he's got to get that energy.
My coach loves it. He's the one that came up with it. I'm like, yeah, we could do that. Something funny. I'm just poking fun. It's nothing at him. I'm just poking fun.
No, I love it. Well, hopefully he'll get a good laugh at it. Okay, so this episode of Road to the Title, we saw a contestant get ejected from the house or evicted, whatever you want to call it. Like he got taken out of the house because of too much violence and all that stuff. You were on Road to the Title, so I just wanted to see if you had any advice that you can offer future contestants because you've been there, you've seen fights and things like that, and you are the champ. You are a great role model for the up and coming and a great ambassador for the sport. So maybe you can shed some light and experience on how to conduct yourself or things you can do better. Because we've seen Azael hit on his season and he was a hot mess, but he came back and as a very respectable person. So maybe just some things that they can do to come back or when they're going into the house.
So I was never on Road to the Title. My Road to the
You
Title
weren't.
has
Oh,
has been my own road, but I mean, I can give some
wait.
insight just because I've watched all three of them.
Yeah.
Um, just seeing how guys conduct themselves in the house. There's certain roles that are taken. There's the troublemakers. There's the leaders that try to be like the house dad and really control things, and you see these roles get taken up and almost immediately, like first episode or second episode, you're like, well, that guy might be a problem. And it happened that way. So I mean, some of the things you see coming, and it's like, well, shoot, could have happened a while ago. You never know.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just it's
So
just funny.
Okay, so I get confused sometimes, and my bad for misspeaking, because I know everyone's gonna come at me and laugh at me about that. You weren't on this season, but like you were a part of the crew, the pre-crew before the
Hmm.
shows. So that's where I mix that up there.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, so being part of that, like when they had their whole season, and then that first event was like the launch of our Power Slap career, kind of. Being a part of those guys and seeing those guys at the event was kind of cool. Watching them on TV, and then you're like, oh, it's actually Azael's a really cool guy. I met him as soon as we checked into the lobby, and he was awesome. He was like really nice, polite guy. Not what you seen in
Yeah,
season one. You know what I'm saying? So the way they edit things and get people portrayed, they kind of have a little influences when it comes to producing it, but you could definitely
yeah,
see who's going to cause problems.
yeah. I mean, but Azael, he was a little hot mess in there, but he did do the work when he came out to make sure, like, he stopped drinking, showed that he was like really serious about that. So, and he's like the greatest human, like the work he does outside of Power Slab, working with adults and disabilities and all that too. So, kudos to him.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He works his butt off too. You see him all the time running. He's in the gym. Guy's strong, and he's definitely gonna get another crack at that belt. I can feel it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that's such an exciting division. Like with, that division is exciting. But okay, so when Brandon got taken out of the house, they had brought in Kiefer in on like I think a 24-hour notice or something, and he had to drop a lot of weight. Sometimes we see the weight cut takes effect into people's performances or when they get slapped because they're dehydrated, all the things. So Kiefer went against Kiali. The chief. I call him the chief because I can never pronounce.
Yeah,
My son
that's way
roasts me
better.
because I can never pronounce anyone's names. Sorry, Kiali. And
The
I even
chief.
had him on last week. He's like, "You're close." So yeah, the chief. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see what Kiefer could do. Mad respect to him. I know he had a lot of stuff going on personally, and then he came in here, took the opportunity, did the weight cut. And then Kiali did knock him out. So we didn't really see what Kiefer can do there. And I think the weight cut really affected him. But what did you think of their matchup?
Yeah, I think, taking that fight on such short notice when something hectic like that happens, it really proves a point that you're there for a reason. You're stepping up on this last second notification. And then this guy wasn't documented on the show, but I guess he dropped something like 25 pounds
Hmm.
in a day. Like crazy. Made the weight. They made it catch weight, right? So he dropped a bunch, as much as he could, and then got up there to fight. And that's, big cojones right there. You can't really fault the guy for, taking a knee and getting messed up. It's got to be very hard to be dehydrated like that. I can't imagine. I've never had that kind of weight cut ever. I do less than 10 pounds, so it's, not something I've experienced, but kudos to him for stepping up last minute like that and taking on the chief who, scary prospect. He's knocked out two
Yeah.
guys now, so well, can't wait to see what else he's got.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely kudos to him. I hope that we get to see him back, whether they bring him back for like a card or the next season of Road to the Title to like actually give him a chance to see what he can do.
Yeah, he'll definitely. I mean, having a better notice is definitely going to improve his chances tenfold. He'll make a
Yeah.
good comeback, I believe. If they have him on again, he'll show out.
Yeah. And then the next matchup was Bryce Jones versus James Tonier. And I know you're going to
Oh
love
yeah.
this because they're right on one army. We had Bryce Jones. Um, yeah. So the first slap, Bryce made James take a step back, and James acted unfazed, but kind of like pushed it back, and he was like, "Nothing, nothing." Then James had dropped Bryce, and then Bryce drops James, and then James smacked Bryce. To me, because I watched it a few times, it looked like James kind of led with the palm to the eye, and then they even looked at it again, and they said good call or good slap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like that I don't know. I guess to each their own. How you see it. and then
So in
Bryce
this, yeah, go ahead.
last slap didn't look like it did anything to James, and then um, James kind of turned Bryce head in the last one. That one went to decision. But yeah, what did you think of that? And when the ref stopped to relook at it, and then they said it was a good slap.
You know, so all this season so far, in most of the matches, from what I'm watching, I think they're being a little more lenient because a lot of these guys haven't been on the stage before. First couple fights up there is kind of nerve wracking to say the least. But I think they're being a little lenient on the rules when it comes to the stepping calls, clubbing calls. And, James made a post the other day saying that, he got clubbed, which if you look at it the way he stopped the picture, I ain't arguing. Definitely looks like it was high. And on James' last slap, it kind of matched it. So if they let them both go, you're kind of like can't call one and not call the other. So if you don't call both, it's kind of just letting them ride. It was a nice, easy, like good, fair matchup in my opinion. They were really close in power, and both had great chins. Being able to get up after getting knocked down, both of them shows heart, and they both slapped really hard. You could really hear them things ripping. It was impressive to watch them take and eat them. Like Danny even said it. These guys are tough. Like obviously, yeah, they're nuts.
Okay, so I know some strikers were given the opportunity to be in the audience for some of these matchups. Were you there for any of the season 3?
No, not season 3.
Not season 3. Okay. Well, the next one was Joshua Newsom and Raiden Bombardier, and I was really excited about this one because Joshua with his matchup and Fabricio, it was really exciting. I don't know, they just both looked tough. That one went down to the decision. And then Raiden had a really exciting match last time, and I feel like he's got like the persona, the loudness and all that. And I think he's actually going to move down to welterweight. So
Yeah,
that's your division there. I think that actually might be good for him because he came down and slapped Joshua, and it didn't really look like it did much to him. But then Josh came out hot, and he knocked him out with one slap. He went on two, so maybe we need to talk to him and get him on the right on one army.
Bring him up, bring him on over, recruit him a little
Yeah.
bit. So, yeah, I think Raiden has great energy, you know, great on stage. He's even the weigh-ins, he like ran up and was in his face with his fists up. He's got high energy and he's very confident. It's good to have. Uh, Probably dropping down a weight class would be in his best interest, I guess you could say, because it's been a lot for most of the people on the roster, uh, kind of fitness journey getting into the sport. A lot of these guys are getting in shape and becoming way more healthy, just having something to work towards. Power slap is tenfold changing lives in that sense. So seeing another guy come down and lose weight, it's great. It's great to see their story and be able to follow it. You're like, dang, looking good, man. So I invite him down. Come on.
And I love it because the welterweight, we need some spicing up there.
And Josh is definitely very impressive. He's
Yeah.
tanking shots really well. Definitely one of the better looking guys in the season for sure. Excited to see what he does.
I think he's like a silent but deadly kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he hasn't been talked about much, but like when he comes on to like a numbered card and stuff, like he's gonna climb up those rankings quickly and quietly.
If he can execute the way he's been doing, definitely could see that happening.
Yeah. And then, we had Terp Daddy. I always have to like talk about his commentary. I know some people hate it and some people love it. I love it. I think he's hilarious. But after the matchup, he was like, anyone can bark, but not everyone could be a dog. But he just had the funniest commentary this whole season.
Yeah, he definitely, as a coach, I see him bringing his intensity that he brings to his matches, and it's great. That's what we need to have these good matches is intensity. You got to have heart. You got to instill the fire as a coach into these new guys, that haven't had the experiences you have. That's what's nice about getting the opportunity to coach. You can take your experiences and share them with these guys and try and help their journey and become a mentor type person. For me, I want to do that. I definitely can't wait to get into the coaching aspect myself.
Yeah, I would love to see you as a coach because I know we've talked about this before, like the future of the welterweight division and you and Manny. I want to see you guys running back. But it would be, I know Manny's already been a coach, but I think because a lot of these people come with combat sports backgrounds, and much respect to you because you were just like a regular person and you
Mhm.
came into the sport, you took it serious, you work out, you got a trainer, and you're just a great, like I said, role model and ambassador for the sport. So like I would really love to see you as a coach one day on the show, and then maybe with Manny, and then we could see you guys running back for the
I
title.
think that would be awesome. Being on being against Manny in a season like that. He already has experience coaching. It would be nice to like feed off his experience and energy and really make an intense lead up for a fight. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I want both of you guys to win because if you win, then it's like you're making history as the first welterweight to defend the belt. And then if he wins, like it has to be run back for a trilogy. So,
Right. That would set it up really good for a season. The
yes,
trilogy
exactly.
after. That'd be awesome.
Exactly. All right. So next week we have the last fights around two. We got Pono versus James. When I saw Pono, I was like, man, this guy is a big, scary dude, but he's like a gentle giant. And then we got James. He's got all the hype behind him. So I'm super excited to see that one. And then we got two returning. We got Darren Godfrey and Amir. And Luke Simmons versus Alan Klingbeil. Which fight are you most excited to see?
I think seeing both of the two OGs, Amir and Allen, those are the two fights I'm really excited for.
What do you think of this season, like overall so far?
I like it. a little more action in the house in season 2, getting a little more backstory from some of the guys, and a little more action's been nice. The matches have been really good. I'm excited to see, how the finale ends up on the season, because it's going to be really intense leading up into the Power Slap 9 overseas. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see that too. Power Slap 9 Abu Dhabi is going to be unreal.
Yes, I love it. And then, if you had one piece of advice for anybody that wants to get into power slap or like new coming into the sport, what would it be?
Hit the submit button and turn your application in, because you never know what can happen. You could be like me and become the champion.
Yes, let's go. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. I can't wait to see what's next for you and the next episode. But it's always a pleasure having you, Anthony.
Thanks for having me on. It was great.
Of course.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, you're always welcome here.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too.